Hello, my name is Carly Lossie and I am a part of Team Pegasus. Pegasus is a next-generation supersonic transport aircraft designed by our team to meet the demands of high-speed commercial travel by 2040. My teammates and I will now walk you through how we tackle this challenge from mission requirements to a full analysis of our aircraft concept.
The objective of our mission was to design a supersonic cruising transport jet that uses currently available technology. This is assuming that we are entering service in 2040, and we are targeting individuals who fly first and business class, who are more interested in getting there fast than the ticket price. Our design requirements were that the crew has 4 to 6 members, the payload is 50 to 100 passengers, the power plant must be 1 or more turbofans, the certification must meet FAR Part 25, and have NBAA IFR reserves. The range must be 4,000 nautical miles at supersonic cruise. The supersonic cruise Mach must be between 1.4 and 2, at least at an altitude of 50,000 feet. There must be an approach speed of 140 knots and a field length for takeoff and landing of 6,500 feet. Our aircraft has 50 passengers, 4 custom turbofans, NBAA IFR reserves. The supersonic cruise occurs at Mach 1.8, and the cruise altitude is 55,000 feet. The overall range is 4,500 nautical miles. The Pegasus has a subsonic cruise 1, supersonic cruise, subsonic cruise 2, and then reserves cruise and loiter segments.
Pegasus's target market is first class and business travelers that make time their top priority. To appeal to these customers, we must offer flights to business hotspots such as Dubai to Hong Kong, which is projected to be one of the top routes in 2050.
So for configuration selection, we had 4 proposed configurations, and you can see them on the left here, modeled in Open VSP. So first, we have the ogival wing, kind of based off the Concorde's design. The second was a tailed delta wing, so similar to the proposed Boeing SST. Then the third was the compound delta wing with the swing wing capability, which allows the wing to move to adjust for supersonic and subsonic configurations. And then the fourth was the cranked arrow wing, which is more like kind of like a fighter jet design. Based on the selection process, we went with the ogival delta wing, primarily out of drag and boom, but also just because it would be more compatible with existing airport infrastructure. In terms of Pegasus's major dimensions, it features a fuselage with a length of about 108 feet and an oval diameter of 9.1 feet with a vertical dimension of 11 feet. For the wing, it had an area of about 2,000 square feet, a wingspan of 89 feet, and a mean chord of 24.3 feet. The empennage, which is the horizontal and vertical tail, features a horizontal tail span of 29 feet and a vertical tail span of 17.8 feet. And the max takeoff weight is 191,000 pounds with an empty weight of 86,000 pounds.
Our aircraft's propulsion system is comprised of 4 medium bypass turbofans that each produce around 19,071 pounds of thrust. At 15.5 feet long, 3.5 feet wide, and 4,500 pounds each, these engines are efficient across both subsonic and supersonic regimes with no afterburners required.
There's 92,000 pounds of fuel required for the mission based on the weight sizing. 35,000 pounds of fuel was stored in the wings. The remaining approximately 57,000 pounds was stored in 3 different fuselage fuel tanks. The fuel was pumped aft during the supersonic segment to shift the center of gravity to make it stable.
The Pegasus has a retractable tricycle landing gear with a takeoff rotation of 17.68 degrees. The main gear has 2 struts with 4 tires on each bogie and a height of 7.5 feet. The main gear is located at 109 feet from the nose, has a track width of 18.5 feet, and retracts laterally inward. The nose gear is 4 feet tall and has 2 tires. It is found 15 feet from the nose and retracts forward into the fuselage. To finalize our design, we performed constraint analysis to balance thrust to weight and wing loading. Our selected point, a thrust to weight of 0.378 and a wing loading of 101, meets all performance and FAR Part 25 requirements for takeoff, landing, and cruise. With We also ran sensitivity studies to validate our choice across different Mach numbers and lift coefficients.
The neutral point of the aircraft shifted for the subsonic and supersonic segment. For the subsonic segment, the neutral point was around 96 feet along the x-axis. For the supersonic segment, this was at 106 feet along the x-axis. To change the CG between these segments, fuel was pumped aft and to the most rear fuel tank of the aircraft. When this occurred, the stability of the subsonic and supersonic segments were analyzed. For the subsonic segment, there is stability when the aircraft is at 200,000 pounds to about 140,000 pounds. Anything under that is within a 10% static margin on the negative side. For that portion, a stability system would be used for the aircraft. For the supersonic segment, almost all of the CG envelope is stable within a 30% static margin. For the lower weight portion that is not stable, the stability system would account for.
In terms of the structural analysis for the Pegasus, a VN diagram was developed to show the structural limits of the aircraft, with the positive load factor being 2.2 and the negative load factor being 0.7. The gust is also shown there, and on the right there is a layout of our wing with 2 spars, 20 ribs, and also showing the fuel tanks as well as the engine mounts and ailerons.
Pegasus has a cost per available seat mile of 47 cents, justified by speed and premium service. The unit cost is about $195 million at scale. The Pegasus is a next-generation aircraft that reintroduces the world to commercialized supersonic flight. Our design prioritizes efficiency, performance, and feasibility. The Pegasus doesn't just promise speed, but delivers a market-ready path to the future of flight. Thank you for watching.